love auction drafts? I'm guessing you do if you're watching this video. Or maybe you're new to auctions and looking for some help. In either case, the Draft War Room is ready. Matt Schauf of DraftSharks.com here with Jared Smola and Alex Korf. And Jared, everything Draft War Room starts with your love affair with player projections, right? What goes into these? And also, they've done pretty well from what I hear.
They have, yeah. And I just want to say, I think if you're coming up with auction values based on gut feel, that's just not the right way to do it, right?
Unless you're in my league, please do that by
exactly,
all means.
Yeah. Our auction values are fueled by the player projections that we work on, tirelessly every season. They have, won multiple awards. So yeah, we project every team in detail, starting with top level stuff like play volume and run pass split. Then we go into the more player level details as far as carry shares, target shares, yards per catch, all the efficiency stuff. Put that all together, you're going to get detailed player projections. And again, we will use your league settings to come up with these customized auction values for you.
Jared works on those tirelessly. I'm much more like a food critic level where I'm just sitting at the table and ordering all the dishes and I take a bite of each and I tell them which ones stink. The projections, the biggest thing they do is feed any format in the Draft War Room. And Alex, we've continuously upgraded the auction functionality, or some call it salary cap these days. That aspect of the Draft War Room has been worked on for several years now. We keep trying to get it, stronger and stronger and adding to it. What are the key ways that it helps you in your draft?
Yeah, so, it first starts off with just kind of that back-end Draft War Room where you're just kind of looking at players or tiers, all of that, just like it was in an auction. But really what's better with it when you're looking at an auction, it keeps track of how much you've paid. That way it can help to automatically adjust based on how much you have left, right? If you spent it all on Saquon Barkley really early, maybe you had a couple beers, we've all been there, you kind of have to adjust what you're doing going forward. And it's hard to do that with just a static sheet unless you're doing math by hand. I'm not going to do that. And then it's going to also adjust based on what's remaining in the draft. If there's been a run on running backs, well, maybe you have to spend up, or just really kind of, it can adjust to what's happening in your league. So anytime you're using something static, it's not going to be able to adjust. The tiers are there, and then it also accounts for your team needs. It's really just your helper who's maybe whispering in your ear, "Hey, don't buy Mixon for that. Like, don't do it." Like,
you can't wait until the check comes to know whether you could afford the tiramisu or you had to settle for fortune cookies. So we're trying to help you along the way to know where you're at. When you're building this Draft War Room from the start, you start with 3 strategy options for an auction draft. It's basically this, Jared: focus on starters, balanced roster, build out depth. And that mostly comes down to adjusting the top player salaries as you get started, right?
Yeah, and I think all 3 of these strategies can work. It's really personal preference. But yeah, it's going to divvy up the total auction dollars differently. Focus on starters. You're going to see the guys at the top of your Draft War Room, the guys with the most DMVP points. They're going to have the most auction dollars allotted to them. Build out depth. You're going to see those top guys lower. You're going to see the mid-range guys, the quarterback 2 types, the running back 3 types be a bit more expensive as far as auction dollars go. And then balanced roster is obviously going to be somewhere in between. So as you create your auction Draft War Room, you can choose your strategy. You can also change that during your auction. If you think your auction's playing out differently than you thought and you want to switch to be more focused on starters, go back to the setup page, 2 clicks, and the Draft War Room is going to update all those auction values for you based on that new strategy.
And Alex, kind of the sneaky takeaway of this and why the Draft War Room is so adjustable as you go is that we're not telling you there's one way to draft. Anybody who is telling you there's one way to draft is either lying or stupid, because there are lots of different ways to do it. The key is to understand how you are drafting and how your specific draft is unfolding and what you need to do.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say it's they're stupid. It's they're lazy. And fundamentally, we were just not. Like, every league is different. Every draft is different. The only way to do it is if we're there with you, helping you. Like, that's what the Draft War Room does. It's there helping you along the way. It's a tool, and it's the best tool on the market.
Don't be lazy. If you are ready to annihilate your draft, click the link on your screen right now to get started.